What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Creatively Driven Podcast. My name is Josh McKenzie, and in this podcast, we talk about anything that motivates us and keeps us driven to be creative, be that through art, music, photography. With creative outlets, I feel that the world is really your oyster, and there's a lot to choose from. Today, we're going to talk about what keeps me creatively driven to do this podcast. I work with this guy, and he has been following along to some of the podcasts, and he just says, hey, I caught one of your podcasts the other day. And I just said, oh, which one? And then he says, the interest-based learning with ADHD. I said, okay. I said, what were your thoughts on it? And he just said, I really liked it. And he says, but what's your motivation behind it? And I said, like your motivation behind the podcast or that episode? And he just says, no, like the podcast. He just says, what's motivating you to keep doing it? And I didn't have the greatest answer up front. I just said, I'm not exactly sure. And I just said, I love doing it, but I just said, you know what? Let me think on that a little bit. Let me mull some things over, and I'll get back to you. So, Jason, if you're listening, here's an answer. So the biggest thing is sharing my passion, or passions, I should say. Obviously, I don't just have one passion. I have quite a few. I think that you can literally talk about what you love doing. It's not me actually doing it. Like, it's not me playing music or taking photos or anything, but it's sharing the memories that I have made while doing those things. It's, sharing some experiences and also just kind of reflecting back on what those moments did to me and, where they may take someone else if they, draw any inspiration from the messages that I'm putting out. And I'm not trying to be, compelling or motivating anybody to really do anything, but I think that there's value in listening to other people's experiences. And, if they resonate with you, why not put your foot out the door and, keep going and just see where things take you. Another thing is just creating conversations that matter. Podcasts kind of give us a platform where, things are unfiltered. Don't get me wrong. There's been, times where I will start doing it all over again because it's not going well, but, they're unfiltered. You can have conversations with guests or, with the audience if people want to leave comments or whatever, and you can get back to them on that. In social media, that kind of goes pretty fast. So I feel that a podcast also with guests involved, it's a true conversation, and that can be, captured and documented. Another thing to look at is, looking at like possible career and say other business opportunities if somebody were to be more full-time into this. To me, again, it's just an expression of my passions and the things that I love doing. However, say somebody were to stay on this for some time and people see that they're actually getting traction, they're able to communicate with others and some of their message resonates with others. I mean, that could open like some speaking gigs, some kind of partnerships, some kind of thing that is going to help other people. To me, also like kind of content rebranding where I've always kind of been an advocate of Instagram. Always loved YouTube, but my content has been a bit of everywhere. I've been somebody who likes to dabble in whatever makes me feel good. So if it's, something with say motorsports, or a lot of it is usually car related, but I'll, put that out there. And this I feel is it's a lot more relevant to people that actually choose to listen. And, these conversations can keep flowing even after it's all said and done. Whereas I feel, some kind of a piece of content from, say a car show or the racetrack, it doesn't quite hold up as much as a conversation does. And with these conversations, you can revisit them at a later time and, kind of reignite something and maybe even take something from that you never heard or were thinking of when things were, being recorded or at that point in time where you were first creating it. Another thing that I really enjoy is my self-expression and just my creative drive. To me, it took some time to kind of dial in the way I wanted things to look. I'm really happy with it now. And, in the beginning, there was a couple things, trial and error. But again, to me, that's just getting better at something. Being an interest-based learner, I am interested and constantly wanting to progress. I was going to say evolve, but to me, it's kind of just taking it step by step and, kind of pushing the boundaries. I feel once I start to see things and, maybe someday I'll look at it and think, okay, maybe I want to do something a little bit different. But as things are going, like creatively, it's a constant intrigue. It's something that I can keep going on. I can keep changing if I want to, or, like I said, as of right now, I'm quite happy with this. Soon we're going to start having some guests come on here and there, some like in-house and some remote podcasting. So that will be something else to kind of tweak too. So to me, it's being able to try different things and see how they go. And I think that's also part of like the cinematic video stuff that I really dig into, being able to try different things with different lights and just different camera angles and whatnot. Like it really does it for me, quite honestly. And again, kind of looking back at the documenting of, where you started versus, where you end up. I mean, I don't have any designated timelines on when to stop, but it is a challenge to think of new things. I don't want to make it strictly about me for sure. Obviously, to me, I feel like it's an open spectrum of creative outlets, and it doesn't just have to be, one certain thing. To me, there are many things that I like doing, and I know a lot of other people that have done those things, have started a career from it, have worked with other companies from it. And, you never truly know where you could get until you put it out there and just run with it and do it because you want to do it. I don't have a boss, I don't have anything telling me I have to do this. You don't need to be an expert to start. You literally, find a place. It's kind of hard to get dialed in sometimes, I feel, to just sit there and speak to nobody. It is an art. It's one of those things where for the longest time I would sit here and just kind of practice a bit here and there, but you kind of need to have a direction. But again, you don't need to be an expert. You just have to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to try different things, and you have to just be motivated to keep doing what you want to do. Also, another part of that is digital media is cheap. Cameras are not cheap, but memory, once you buy it, it's basically free. I mean, sure, you're paying for internet, but apart from that, I mean, you've already got the memory. So you use it, you record it, you edit it, or however you want to do it. I know some websites, basically, you can record it online and then get it sent to you. I haven't done that yet, but as of right now, I shoot on my camera, I record that way, I do my audio on top of that, I blend them in together just like I'm doing a regular video, but obviously I am the video, and you put that out, and I've already got the computer and everything. So once you have your initial purchase, it shouldn't be too bad to actually create it. And you don't need to spend, a ridiculous amount of money on cameras like I have. You can do it with your phone. I find that's probably one of the hardest things was like vlogging. When you're walking around and, people see you, I don't know, I just feel like you kind of disassociate yourself with society when you're doing that. Here, I'm in my own room, I'm in my own home, and it's just me and, the message that I want to convey to the audience. So I think that there's not a lot of things that can really hold you back from being motivated to do something that you start. You just have to remember why you started it, where you want to kind of have things go for a direction, and just do it because you want to do it. And if something is changing where you are starting to veer away from it, you don't want to do it, then maybe reframe your mind and try to just take a step back and see what you can change. That's where maybe little lighting tweaks will come into play. But again, creative outlet, the world is your oyster, and there's so many different possibilities to just sit down and explore things. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you for sticking around and listening to my ramblings. On whatever platform you choose to see this on, I appreciate you. Feel free to, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Apparently it's, making a bit of an impact. So that's kind of cool to hear. I do love doing it. So thank you guys again. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.